We'll try to do better even at the Euro, but that's also our responsibility.
Should you have had a bigger stadium?
You know, we have a stadium that holds almost 70,000. There are stadiums in Europe that go to 80. There is Wembley at 90, and then there is Barcelona at just over 100. Is it the solution to have games only at Wembley and Barcelona every year? The whole of Europe deserves to have the competition. We're not talking here about stadiums of 40,000. We're talking about large stadiums, modern stadiums with good facilities. People should understand that sometimes they won't have a ticket. That does not give them the right to violate the law.
Liverpool were in Istanbul 2 years ago. From what you saw there, are you clear then? Your opinion is that they were to blame. You're saying Liverpool fans were to blame for what happened last night.
Their behavior should be more controlled. I mean, I know that in Istanbul, I was there at the Champions Festival outside the stadium. At the moment before the game that we say, okay, the Champions Festival closes, no more beer, go into the stadium. The Milan fans went straight to the stadium. Unfortunately, a minority of Liverpool fans trashed the place. So one should examine the situation in Liverpool, talk to the fans, people who are responsible for the fans associations, and I think there should be some self-criticism on their part.
We've spoken to fans this morning who got in without tickets. They got in holding up leaflets which looked like tickets or vaguely looked like tickets. Is it time, do you think, to assess your policy when it comes to identification on tickets, have a photograph on each ticket, therefore you can avoid the chance of forgeries and you can make sure that people who have genuine tickets aren't stopped from getting in like they were last night?
Well, I think there's no doubt that at one point the Greek police, because they were faced with rather aggressive people, lost a bit control of the situation. And I think their priority is that no one should get hurt. At that point, it's true, we are convinced that some people got in, quite a few people, without legitimate tickets. Those tickets at the court bar, when I went into the stadium, my ticket was put through fluorescent light. And I talked to some Liverpool fans, and they all went through the experience. But of course, in that end, at a certain point, a few hours before the game, the situation was so tense and potentially so dangerous that probably the Greek police decided, okay, let's let them in, because what is the alternative? Beat them up?
Should you have had turnstiles, maybe?
Turnstiles can also be dangerous. The electronic system works much better in terms of control. It's a softer system. You could have people being pushed into turnstiles with some dire consequences. The number one priority is, of course, the physical integrity and the health of everyone.
Are you worried about the future then, William? Because, as I said earlier, you have a product here that's highly successful. Everybody wants tickets for these games. As you said, you can't have stadia which are 100,000 plus seats every year. So what are you going to do in the future when Liverpool are in the final again? Is this a Liverpool problem or a British problem, or is it just general European problem now you have?
Well, it is for sure more of a British problem, because every year when there is a British club, usually the problem is there in terms of, there's nothing reprehensible or criminal. People want to see the game. We understand that. But they should be reasonable enough to understand that even if they don't have a ticket, they're not going to get into the stadium. We had Celtic fans in Seville, probably 3 times as many as the one that got into the stadium for the UEFA Cup 4 years ago. But they decided to stay in the middle of the city, watch it on a big screen, and have a party. And we had no problems. So I think everyone should have that mentality. If we don't have a ticket, we'll enjoy the atmosphere of the city where the final is held. We'll watch it on the big screen with our friends. And then if we win, we'll celebrate. If we lose, we'll hope we win the next time.
But in conclusion, your assessment is that, generally speaking, Liverpool fans were to blame for what happened?
There is no doubt that some Liverpool fans are to blame, and at the same time, some Liverpool fans were also the victims of the behaviour of other Liverpool fans.
And finally, and in general, you were pleased with the event, the final, it went well, and you're looking forward to next season?
Yes, the final went well. Probably not the greatest final in terms of